Hey, what's up everyone? It's Kish from Porygon Tube, and today I thought I would make a very interesting video on some of the most expensive decks in the format. So if you're looking at your screen right now, you can see the Top Cuts video. RIP the Top Cut, gone too soon. It's called Building on a Budget, something that Puka did back in the day, where he featured budget decks that are somewhat competitive, and yeah, they're basically budget. So if you're looking for that, this is not the video. This video is the total opposite, the inverse of building on a budget, 1 over building on a budget. This is the opposite. We're going to look at the most expensive decks in the format, and because of Guardians Rising, bringing out all these new hyper rares and gold double nugget DCEs and things like that, everything is expensive. It can be done. You can bling out your deck to the max, and we're going to look at some of the most expensive archetypes in the format right now. So we're looking at tier 1 decks, basically. Decks that can win tournaments. How much can you max out their rarity, and how much is it going to cost you? So, first of all the deck lists, basically, were from Omnipoke. So thanks to them, they posted a recent video, which was an awesome series between Joe and Jack, first to 9 series, where they featured all these different decks, and they posted their lists on their website very graciously. So thanks to them, I used their list for 3 out of the 4 decks I'm going to feature. So thanks to them, go check them out if you haven't already. I'm assuming if you're looking at this channel, you already know who Omnipoke is, because Omnipoke's massive, and they're honestly my favorite PokeTubers at the moment. So go check them out if you haven't. Anyway, let's look at this. So building on a budget, this is not that. So couple of rules. First of all, I use Troll and Toad, highest value. So highest value usually correlates to the most rare, the hardest to find of that card. So we're using the highest value, so that is the max rarity, and we're using Troll and Toad near mint if possible. Wasn't always possible to get near mint. Sometimes we had to go with played, but we're not using Troll and Toad merchants. Just to keep things consistent, we're just going off Troll and Toad if we can, because the merchants, they vary their prices. And to be honest, in Australia at least, everybody uses Troll and Toad as the major guide. And I know in America you have CCG Castle and TCG Player and things like that, but in Australia, where I'm from, nobody uses that. Everybody uses Troll and Toad, so that's what we're going to go off. Troll and Toad sets the tone. So let's have a go. First up, any guesses of what it might be? In number 4, we have Aquabox. Now, this actually surprised me. I thought this would be higher up the list because, as we can see, the first card here in my Troll and Toad cart is an Aqua Patch, secret rare, brand new from the Guardians Rising set, and we're playing 4 of them. So this has dropped in value a bit. Sort of started out around $35, but has dropped to $27.99. So let's have a look at the deck list. So yeah, $27.99, 4 of them. That's getting some good cha-ching going. Articuno, rubbish, not adding much value. Same with Brooklet Hill. If you want to try and squeeze in an extra few bucks, you could probably change them out for Rough Seas. Choice bands, get them now. $2.29 is cheap. I believe these will go up in value. If Muscle Band is anything to go off in the past, Choice Band is the new Muscle Band in my opinion. So get them now. Drampa GX, nice hyper rare. Our first hyper rare of this video, of this deck list, and it's coming in at $14.49. Omnipoke played 2 in their list, so that gives us a nice 28 to 28.98 total. So Hex Maniac, unfortunately no full art hexes right now. Maybe when the best of X and Y comes to English, we'll see some increase in the Hex Maniac price, but for now the reverse holo is the rarest we can get, and that's only $1. Lapras hyper rare, one of the mid-range hyper rares, only coming in at $18. We play 3 of them. 2 full art Lysanders, $41.99 each. That's good money. Max Manaphy EX, $10.49. Not the most expensive full art, but we'll take it. And Max looks at, wow, $9.99 US. $10 a piece. And we're playing, well, we should be playing 4 of them actually. What's going on here? They only play 2 in their list. Okay, let me just have a look. We got 40 cards here. 3, 6. Yeah, they must only play 2 in their list. Okay, that's surprising. I would have thought that they'd play 4, but I could be wrong. I could have mucked this up. But in any case, we'll go with 2 for now. 2 full art ends, 124.99. 250 for the pair. And Olympia, Kukui, Professor Sycamore, Rescue Stretcher, Shamans have dropped in price from the early season when we saw them peaking at around 75 odd dollars, up to 90 even. So Tapu Lele GX, the big chase card in this set, the hyper rare Tapu Lele GX, $70.99, and we play one of them. So Trainer's Mail, a card that's sort of sat around this $20 mark for quite a while. And Ultra Ball, here we go, the big money comes in, $99.99, and Troll and Toad only had one of them, so we'll add on the other 3 later in my calculations on the side. I sort of showed you that before. So yeah, $100. Plasma Freeze version is the most expensive at the moment. The Sun and Moon one is only sitting at around $70 to $75, I think, on Troll and Toad. So that is the most expensive one, and this surprised me a lot. VS Seeker, the most expensive VS Seeker you can get is the reverse foil from Fire Red Leaf Green. It is not the secret rare from Roaring Skies. It is the VS Seeker from Fire Red Leaf Green, and just one of them will cost you $40. That is crazy, the reverse foil. That's amazing. So, and then we've got Call of Legends Water Energy. Now, just to note, these were played. As you can see here, it says played, so the near mint might be up to around 20 a piece, who knows. But for now, we can only go off what we have here, and that's played, coming in at around $14.50 each. There were only 2, so we'll add on $14.50 times 10 to get the full complement of 12 energy. So as you can see up in the top right-hand corner here, my grand total so far is 1,075.2. Now, let's go over to our calculations. So from that list, we're missing an escape rope, which was the Pokemon League promo one. So that's coming in at $1.79. Field Blower, $29.99. That's the secret rare. I have it up here somewhere. I'm going to find it eventually. There it is. Field Blower, $29.99. That's the secret rare from Guardians Rising. And we have 10 Call of Legends energy, 3 more Ultra Balls, 3 more VS Seekers, so that gives us a total of 626.59, grand total of 1,075.2, which was the total in my Troll and Toad cart, plus the extra 626.5 gives us a grand total of 1,701.7 US dollars. So Lapras just misses out on a podium finish, coming in with 1,701.7. Let's see what that is in Australian dollars. That is hey, that's not right. What am I doing? 1,701. There we go. 2,300 Australian dollars. Let's go. 1,701.7, 1,300 British pounds for our friends in Europe, 1,701.7, 1,556 US pounds, and the Vietnamese dong, one of the least valuable currencies in the world. What does it come in at? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 38,637,098.5 Vietnamese dongs. There we go. So for that price, you can probably do a lot in Vietnam, but you can also buy Aquabox. Okay, so that was number 3 on the list. No, number 4, sorry. Let's go to number 3 so we can pick up pace a little bit now that we know what some of the more valuable cards are. So coming in at number 3 is Decidua Vileplume, the most dominant deck of the recent meta, Decidua Vileplume, and it comes in at number 3 on the most expensive in the bling charts. So let's see, we've got, starting out slow, some reverse Dartrix, not much there. Floatstone, the most expensive Floatstone you can get, is the one from Plasma Freeze, the reverse hollow. So that comes in at $5 a piece. That's quite expensive for a floatstone. So that is the most expensive floatstone. Forest, couple bucks each. Gloom, not doing too much. Here we go. This is how decidua comes into the running. Guardians Rising, secret rare grass energy, 22.99 bucks a pop. And we've got 4 of them in this deck. Level Ball, Full Art Lily, very nice, 17 bucks. Nothing to scoff at. And Lysander's Ends, we've seen this before. Sycamore Oddish, not doing too much. Revitalizer. Now the rarest Rowlet, or the most expensive rather, is the promo Rowlet. It has the same attacks as the one from the Sun and Moon set, but it's hollow. Now this might be tilting to some people, having a Rowlet which is hollow and then a Dartrix reverse hollow, but if you want to max out the value, you got to go with the hollow Rowlet, the promo Rowlet. So Shaman, we've seen it before. Tapu Lele. Now 4 Trainer's Mail, nice, pretty nice. And we have the Ultra Balls again. So this gives us a grand total of 1,077.51. Let's go over to our calculations. So as you can see, there are 49 cards there. We need another 11, and we get that from 4 Decidui GX Hyper Rare, which comes in at 30.99, if I can find it. There we go, 30.99 for the Hyper Rare Decidui from Guardians Rising. That might go up in price. It's currently out of stock, so who knows. Let's go back here. And 4 Double Colorless, Double Chicken McNuggets, 77.99. So as I was actually coming up with the carts, Troll and Toad sold out of 4 Double Colorless. So I have it in some of my other carts, but I don't have it in this one. So 77.99. Ultra Balls, 100 bucks a pop. That's a total of 704.9. If we add that on to our 177.51, we have a grand total of 1,782 US dollars. So now 1,782 just pips Lapras there, 0.41, and that is 2,414 Australian dollars, 1,382 British pounds, 1,630 euros, and how many Vietnamese dongs can we get? We can get 40,469,619.05 Vietnamese dongs for our Decidui GX deck. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now let's keep it moving. We go on to our number 2. So let's see. So we've seen Lapras. We've seen Decidui. Any guesses as to what number 2 might be? This might surprise you. It would be Metal Rayquaza. So Rayquaza actually surprised me that it would get in there, but it does get in there, and it gets in there pretty high. It's number 2. And why does it get there? It plays all these high value cards like Double Colorless Energy, plays 4 of them, plays 4 VS Seekers. Dragonites have actually dropped in price quite a bit. They came out at around $18 to $20 on first release from Evolutions. They've seen some niche play, and so they've dropped to $8.50. We saw this Floatstone before, Hexmaniac. Hooper's only $18, dropped from its preseason hype of around $40 to $50. It's dropped to $18. Lysanders, we've seen the Mega Rayquaza, only $14 for the full art. Quite surprising, actually. I thought it'd be a bit more. I know it's not played a huge amount, but considering it's from Roaring Skies, you'd think that the full art Mega would be worth quite a bit, but only $14. Magearna, this is the metal part of the Metal Ray, important for Metal Ray. And now, there are other versions of Rayquaza, but why did we choose Metal Ray? Because of the secret rare Metal Energy. That's going to put the price up. There are better versions of Rayquaza, but we're not after winning. We're only after the ching, the money. So 18.99 per secret rare Metal Energy, and we got 5 of them. So full art and full art Sycamore. We've seen them all before. Rescue Stretcher we haven't seen, but it's only coming in at $1. Same with the Skyfield. 1 Super Rod. Now, the rarest super rod, or the most expensive super rod you can get, is from Dragon Vault, the hollow super rod, and it comes in at $4.50. One Tapu Lele. Now, if you really want to bump up your ray value, you could, I guess, go to 2 Tapu Lele, who knows, 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, which we've got over here in our grand total. So as we can see, we're missing 7 cards. There are 53 there, so we're missing 1 Floatstone, 3 Ultra Ball, 3 VS Seekers, for a total of 425. And if we add that to the 1,367, we get a grand total of 1,739.1. So 1,739.1, it just pips Decidui by 10 bucks or so, and that's 2,428 Australian, 1,391 British pounds. Euros, we've got 1,640, and the Vietnamese dong, how much can we get? 40,712,335.5 Vietnamese dongs. So, yeah, I mean, multimillionaires in Vietnam. Or metal ray players. So, any guesses as to what the most expensive deck is? I've sort of given you a clue there. I accidentally clicked on the tab. The most expensive deck that I can think of, at least, currently, is the newest deck in the format, and that is Garbodor Tauros Tapu Lele. Now, why is this deck so expensive? Well, it runs double Chicken McNuggets. If you want to be in the running for most expensive deck, you've got to have double colorless energy. It is, apart from Ultra Ball, the second most expensive secret rare. Okay, it runs hyper rare Drampa EX, secret rare enhanced hammers. The Garbodors aren't worth too much, but they add a little bit. But the real thing is 3 Ns. High N count is going to push your value up. 1 fan club. I could not believe this was $17 on Troll and Toad. These were like $5 like a year ago or 2 years ago. People couldn't get rid of this card fast enough. But now it's worth $17. Tapu Lele means that you can search it out pretty easily. So Fan Club coming at $17. You gotta run secret rare energy if you want to be in the running. And not only does Garbodor Tauros have secret rare double colors, it also has secret rare psychic energy, of which we run 6. There's only 2 on Troll and Toad at the moment, but there are 6. So psychic energy, $22 a pop. Shamans, Tapu Lele, you run multiple, you're going to push your value up, and 2 hyper rares. So this deck runs 3 different hyper rares: Tauros, Tapu Lele, and Drampa. So Tapu Lele being the most expensive, as we saw, $71. $14 for a Tauros, and we have our usual suspects, Ultra Ball and VS Seeker. So what does this deck come in at? How far away is it from the others in terms of price? Well, it is the leader by a clear margin. So if we add on our Trubbish that we're missing, the Acid Spray, Crushing Hammers that we're missing, incidentally the most expensive is the Play Pokemon Crushing Hammer. Our Field Blowers that we're missing, they're coming in at $29.99. Our VS Seekers, our Ultra Balls, Floatstone, a Rocket's Handiwork. This is a grand total of 613.2. And sorry, total of 613.2. If we add that to our total in the cart of 1,409, we get a grand total of 2,023.09. Wow, that is pricey. So let's have a look here. 2,700 Australian dollars, 2,740 rather, 1,569 British pounds, 1,850 euros, and to finish, 45,934,258, just short of 46 million. Dang. So, I hope you guys liked this video. I just basically wanted to make it just to see how expensive can you make a deck if you wanted to, and the answer is you'd have to spend US $2,023.09 to max rarity, max price your deck. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment if you think there's a more expensive deck out there that I've missed, for sure. Alright, so cheers guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.